Hi everybody, welcome to a new comic comparison.
I'm Sean Walraven.
I'm Cody Jones.
Woo!
Woo! This time we're going to be talking about Marvel Phase 3, which is basically every movie from next year till almost 2020. It's a lot of movies.
Phase 3.
Phase 3. Phase 2 was all the two, like Captain America 2 and Thor 2 and all those, and Avengers 2.
I'm worried I won't even be alive come 2020. I know it's like 5.5 years away, but still.
It almost is 5.
You're gonna be 35.
It happened.
Oh, piss.
I'm going to make myself a robot.
You're gonna make yourself a robot?
Yep.
Cyborg Sean?
I'm going to be cyber. That's what the 2020 DC Cyborg movie's about, my life.
Nice.
Anywho, we're going to start off on Avengers 2, which is Age of Ultron. Now, I just showed you the official trailer. They released this last weekend about that. Your thoughts on it?
As far as I'm concerned, the movie's released. That was a damn good trailer.
Fair enough.
I could sit there and watch that over and over again and been completely happy with it.
Yeah, they made that trailer really good. It's going to be hard to kind of lid down that trailer.
But why does Ultron look like Hulk in an Iron Man suit?
Oh, that was Iron Man in a Hulk suit.
Wait, what?
The big red and gold thing?
Yeah.
That was Iron Man's Hulk Buster.
Then why did they have Ultron's voice over him?
He voiced over the whole thing.
Oh,
Talking
they
about
had
how
me seriously confused. I'm like, why are they doing this?
Well, Hulk and Iron Man are going to fight in the movie.
Oh. Oh, well, I guess it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Nah.
And Iron Man reveals that he has a backup against the Avengers because he has the Hulk Buster, which is the big Iron Man suit to fight the Hulk.
Oh, okay.
So I guess the trust issues start to arise. Yep. And then Ultron, I guess when he starts out, he looks like he does in the comic book, but then they kind of made him more Tron-ish, I guess. He has like little red circled eyes, except for his eyes just being all red. But it's going to be weird because, well, Ultron, for those who don't know who Ultron is, because he's basically a minor character who got boosted in the limelight from the comic Age of Ultron, which was really huge a couple years back in this movie. He's basically a robot made by the man who will become AntMan, and he has super intelligence and adaptability. And unless you destroy every piece of him, he'll keep coming back and remaking himself because he knows how to make himself now.
And he can adapt to the way the heroes fight.
Yep.
He can learn their moves and defend himself.
Yeah, that's what makes him one of their most dangerous enemies. You don't get to hear about him a lot, maybe because it'd be hard to write him all the time because he could adapt and defeat the Avengers, and that just doesn't make good comic books.
And he does not look like the Hulk in an Iron Man suit.
He does not look like the Hulk in an Iron Man suit, no. But yeah, and he'll have his little Ultron army is what I think is what it looked like in the trailer, just a bunch of Ultrons coming out of the water. So he'll have little robot minions.
A bunch of Ultrons?
Ultrons.
Just a bunch of Ultrons just...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think they're just mindless robots that do his bidding.
Well, it's sort of like Jason.
Sort of like Jason. Speaking of Ultron, the man who created him, AntMan, they also released that a couple of months back that Paul Rudd is going to be AntMan in the AntMan movie.
Which still surprises me.
Yep.
I just can't see Paul Rudd as a superhero.
Fair enough. Nor can I. And when they released the first pictures of production, he looked like all golfy, black leather jacket, and looked all mopey.
Isn't he a scientist?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a really brilliant scientist.
I guess if he created Ultron, he has a reason to be mopey.
Well,
and gothy.
He also had a wife, and his girlfriend was the Wasp. So his life wasn't that bad.
So is he cheating on his wife?
Yes.
What a whore.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah. He was married, and him and Wallace started working together, and then they started getting like Wasp started having romantic feelings towards him, and then I think after his wife left him for whatever reason, or like they were separated, and then they hooked up.
So who's gonna play Wasp?
It's an interesting question. I don't think they've said it. If they have, then I missed that one. But
Should be Karen Gilliam.
well, she just got done being Nebula
Yeah.
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yep. She did really good in that movie, I'll have to say. Like,
She did.
yep. And Captain America 3 is also coming out. It was Fallen Brother, but then they changed it to be the Civil War story arc that was going to be its own Avengers, but they kind of just changed it up where like, oh, let's throw Captain America at it, leave everybody else at it.
I think it's very interesting that it's Captain America 3, and that's how they're introducing the Civil War.
Yep.
Very interesting concept. But I guess at the end of, what was it, this last Avengers?
Right.
They were kind of touching on that with Black Widow anyway.
Yeah, and they also kind of touched on it in Winter Soldier, which I still haven't seen all of it, but I know from the trailers that the Shield basically controlling people, making sure people don't get out of line. That's kind of how the Civil War started. They wanted to make sure superheroes weren't being too dangerous. They wanted to keep tabs on everybody.
That's what it was. It wasn't Avengers. It was
Yeah,
Winter Soldier.
definitely.
Because at the very end of it, Black Widow's like, you know where to find me.
Right.
Well, in a less manly way, but
Right.
you know where to find me. You know where to find me. So I can't do Scarlett Johansson's voice. Sorry, I'm not a sexy redhead.
Yeah. So they're gonna have the Civil War arc, which is Captain America versus Iron Man. Essentially, Iron Man will have Spider-Man and I think even Nick Fury and a couple other guys, and Captain America will have I think the Fantastic Four.
So, are you saying Spider-Man's finally gonna make an appearance?
No. He's still stuck in Sony land. They're gonna make 2 more Spider-Man movies over there, and a girl Spider-Man ripoff, I think.
Spider-Girl?
Yeah.
Comic books. Go figure. I want to see a Carnage and Venom movie.
Actually, I think Carnage is after Sinister Six, which is the next big, should be the next big Spider-Man movie. They're gonna make it 3, and then there's gonna be Carnage.
Carnage. I like Carnage.
So they're gonna introduce the Venom Carnage to the new Spider-Man movies.
That would be cool.
Yep. And the interesting news that dropped this last week, Benedict Cumberbatch of Schmog and Sherlock and Shere Khan, is that what you?
Shere Khan, yeah.
Shere Khan fame is going to be Doctor Strange in the Doctor Strange movie.
Sherlock is going to be Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is going to be Sherlock. My God, Watson.
Nice.
Or if you're a Key and Peele fan, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oxford University.
I love Key and Peele.
As me and you were talking about, we both think he has an odd looking face.
He is. He's a goofy looking dude.
So it's going to be.
But he's got a huge following, man.
Right.
Especially the women go crazy for him. I don't understand. Maybe I should just grow my hair out and start looking goofy and
the 6-pack abs.
6-pack abs and a British accent. Hello, governor. Would you like tea with that?
Oh, it works for Loki, Tom
Hiddleston.
yeah. Works for him.
You ever notice all the awesome British villains end up hot? Have you ever?
Except for Gandhi, Ben Kingsley. If you consider him hot, then
Go
you, yeah. He's an old British man who's got an Indian background. But yeah, so that's gonna be weird because as we were to talk about, he looks all right when his hair's long, but now he's gonna have his hair short. It's gonna be slicked back. And he's gonna have that little pencil mustache that goes into a goatee.
It's just gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird.
And he's got to play a drunk for most of that movie. Spoiler alert.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
I don't look at Benedict and think, holy crap, it's Doctor Strange.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather Weird Al play Doctor Strange. Come the fuck on.
Fair enough. Right. And I did love him as Schmog, but that was him voicing over a dragon and doing a little motion capture.
A very scary dragon.
Yeah.
It burns.
Of course, I liked that dragon when I saw it in the 77 cartoon, so.
Sean's got him tattooed around his leg.
Sure. It just looks like he just pokes at his little spikes are poking out like hair.
Yeah.
All right. Now on to Thor 3, which is Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Even though I know nothing about it.
Yeah. No anything on this. They announced it's happening. I guess we'll find out what Ragnarok is later on.
Can I announce the next one?
Yes.
The African American Panther.
Better known as the Black Panther. One of the founding members of the Avengers is actually getting his first movie.
Which is about damn time.
Yeah. He's basically...
He would have done that shit by now.
Yeah. Or at least introduced like a little minute, like a character in like a information window in the first Avengers when he was looking at all the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, because his little country in Africa, they produce vibranium, which is what Captain America's shield is made of. So you think they would have tied this in a long time ago.
A long time ago.
So we're just like, oh, we already have Captain America's shield, and apparently he's going to be destroyed in the Ultron movie because it's in the trailer. But, oh, here's the guy who has all this stuff to make it.
FYI, and I hate to say this and play the race card,
right.
but I think it's because he's black.
It probably is.
They wanted to put off the Black Panther because he's black.
Yeah, he's not gonna say like James, like Splinter Cell, like Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell, the secret agent who sneaks around and takes people out, but he does it with claws. Like he has little metal tips on his fingers. Like he can do all the acrobatic. It's like a male Black Widow. Essentially, he can do all the same stuff, except for he has little claws, except for guns.
Yeah.
I think a whip too.
Yeah, he's got a whip.
Now, in the works, maybe, is a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I don't see there's any maybe to this. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It did too well. I mean...
It did very well.
Rocket and Groot. I mean, even the comics. They
right.
released another comic after the movie.
Right.
So it was huge. There's no maybe to that. They're definitely going to be releasing another one.
Yeah. And I think it was called War of the Kings, so it may cover the war that was going on during the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which, if you didn't catch it, was the Kree Empire was basically trying to mess everybody's stuff up.
Do we get to see Star-Lord's father?
I would hope. Like, you'd probably get to see Star-Lord's father, Groot grow back to being Big Groot again.
I am Groot.
That's
Vin Diesel.
Yep, Vin Diesel.
So, okay, something that I thought was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to take a look at one of the older Guardian of the Galaxy comics.
Right.
And the symbol on the helmets of, what do you call them? The Star People?
The Nova?
Yeah, Nova.
Uh-huh.
They were yellow in the movie, but in the comics they're red.
Yep.
Wonder why they would have did the color change like that.
I don't know. Like, it doesn't really make much sense to me either, because a lot of Nova Prime, the people, and Nova, the character who's going to eventually come out of all this from that planet, all of it's mainly yellow. Even Nova, I think his colors is blue and yellow, but I do think, I think he has a little red star, so it may change, but they want it to be different, I guess. Like, it's, I guess, creative freedom, same way Groot is essentially naked, but in the comics he wears a big little, I guess, military outfit, even though he's a giant tree.
Damn it, Groot.
And yeah, so like sometimes take a little bit of artistic freedom to make it different, to make your stuff work, I guess. Now, if they make that movie, it'll tie into this movie, which is Avengers 3 Infinity War, which will be a two-parter, so you have to wait a whole year from part 1 to part 2. And it's going to basically cover...
Sort of like they did you with Metal Gear Solid.
Yep.
That's gay.
That is.
And by gay, I mean that's not cool at all.
Yep. Yeah, that's the trend with a lot of big movies is they're gonna do two-parters like Desolation and Smog. Schmerg. Like they probably could have. I knew it was like a 2.5, almost 3-hour runtime. They would have added another 30 minutes onto that. They could have had what the whole third movie is going to be about, and then been over with.
I know nothing about Infinity War.
Yeah, it's going to end it basically Thanos, who you saw in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Does this have anything to do with the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
This is where it's all going to come to light. Like this is where the Infinity Gauntlet's going to come into play. I think this will be Thanos' first glimpse with it. I think he gets to, or for all intents and purposes, this could be where he has it, and he's trying to take over the world.
Cool.
So you'll see the Avengers come together, and you may see even more superheroes. So maybe a Guardians and Avengers and whoever else they could fit in there.
So in Infinity War, do the mutants finally, will the mutants make a bigger appearance in this?
Excellent.
Quicksilver's in Age of Ultron, and,
Right.
I'm really interested to see what the wording for
Right.
the X-Men, essentially,
will be.
what they're going to do since Fox still owns Marvel,
Yep.
or still owns X-Men.
And they're not letting it go anytime soon. They're making another
They
Wolverine
really
and a
should.
X-Men Apocalypse movie.
Come on, man.
So
I couldn't even bring myself to watch X-Men Days of Future Past. When are they just going to let it go? They've mucked it all up at this point.
fair enough. Like the storyline's all out of sync. It doesn't even make sense in the movie context of its own storylines.
Sony, leave it to Marvel. Just let it go. Okay? Cool.
Yep. So, in theory, you should see guys like Cyclops and Scarlet Witch and a couple. Oh, Wolverine should be in it too. But since Wolverine is basically Fox's bitch for the next couple of years, I have my doubts he's going to show up. And
if they do, it's not going to be Hugh Jackman, and they won't call him a mutant.
Nope. He'll probably be in the background. You'll probably see a guy in the Wolverine colors with the claw going, yeah.
They'll somehow try to oh, he's there, see? In the left-hand corner.
Yep.
If you zoom in real close.
Like one of those Easter eggs, they're all in all these Marvel movies, there'll be a little Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that glorious movie where they basically tie up everything they've been crediting for the last 2-3 years, they're going to make Captain Marvel. And there's a reason that name doesn't sound familiar, because Captain Marvel was a very, very short-lived character who came out of the Kree Empire to save America and the world.
America.
He came out of there and he saved it, but they ultimately killed him off and made him Miss Marvel, which is who you probably heard. She's the girl in the black onesie with the giant white star in her, with the red stash.
Captain Marvel came, saved the world,
And died.
then they killed him, gave him a sex change, and brought him back.
Yes.
Is what you just told me.
Yes.
Okay.
There's been 4 or 5 different Marvel reboots, but it's mainly been the blonde-haired. Right now they have the little Muslim girl, who's Marvel. So, and
let's see what they did there.
well, most of it's Marvel, because Captain Marvel, the official Captain Marvel, is Shazam in the DC universe.
Right.
So when I saw that, I was like, why would you even tempt fate to do that? He's not that big of a character. He died. Marvel's thought fit to kill him and never bring him back.
Well, they've sunk millions into these other movies and got a pretty big payoff on it. I don't think, at this point, they're just going to ride this pony until it dies.
That movie's just a cash grab. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a cash grab.
But let's not, downplay it, because people are going to be like, oh, this is a new movie, I should be interested.
Right.
So then their movie sales are going to go up, then their comic sales are going to go up,
Right.
and the next thing you know, I've been a Marvel fan for my entire life, and I'm 15.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'll admit, I've never been a huge Marvel fan.
Fair enough.
I've been a bigger DC fan. I don't know why.
Yeah, to each their own. I go back and forth. After I read a Marvel book, I usually try to read a DC book and vice versa, and that way I can kind of keep it balanced because they both. I think I put it to you. I told Jess this when she was interested in comics. I told her, if you want to know about a lot of different story, like a lot of different characters and how they develop, Marvel's the way to go. But if you want to learn about one story, one character, and how they do a story arc, and how deep you can go into that one person, DC is the way to go. Because DC has fewer characters than Marvel. That means they can go more in depth into the psyches of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. They could show you the inner workings of them. But it's not something you can do in Marvel because you have to can't do the inner workings of Wolverine because he's in Canada with the Alpha Force, or he's in New York with the X-Men, or he's in New York with Fantastic Four. Or
he's too busy dying.
Yeah, he's recently died in comic books, or he's wandering America Southwest being Logan. Like, it's hard to get in depth when he's got 4 different story arcs going at the same time. So,
he's a hard man to catch.
He is.
I've been trying to call that fool for 3 weeks now. Damn it, Logan.
Have to leave a number.
Have to get for real. The small dad's getting old, brother.
Now, one of the other movies they're thinking about putting into works is World War Hulk, which is where Hulk goes all batshit crazy and tries to kill everybody, and they send him to a different planet.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So you're going to see basically all the superheroes fight the Hulk. I think Iron Man is a big part of that. So you'll at least see Tony Stark, maybe Captain America. I think those are the 2 characters I distinctly remembered because I haven't read that specific book, but I have read everything around that book.
You're just playing with the idea of reading it.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably, when it gets closer, I'll be like, I really should read that.
I should read too. It might help.
You know, hey, I always undo my comics after I get done reading them.
True.
Yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting movie. It's gonna be a standalone Hulk, but you're gonna have to see some of the Avengers in there because how are you gonna defeat the Hulk if nobody's there and shoot him in a rocket?
That really didn't help because all the Hulk movies that we've seen.
Yep.
So tie him to a rocket and send his ass in space.
Right. And then finally is a couple of characters who may tie into another Marvel movie they were putting into works, a Fantastic Four movie, is the Inhumans, which are basically a couple of mutants / above abnormal people who live on the moon. One's named Black Bolt, who is white. He did not follow the good tradition of comic books calling, if you have black in your name, then you must be African American. He is a white man. But basically, any words he says will destroy a whole planet. Then they have his dog, who's got a little pitchfork on his head, and if he touches you, basically, he's just going to bite you. Like, put his mouth on you, he could teleport you to anywhere. Then we have Black Bolt's wife, Medusa, who can use her hair as extra arms, legs, kind of like Doc Ock with hair.
Ew.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Ew.
She is a redhead, though.
Nasty.
And then...
Bitch, go cut your hair.
Then there is his faithful assistant. I'm trying to see if I can pronounce his name right. I may be way off. It should be Karnak, but he can basically find the weak point of anything. And so, and there's Crystal. Forget what she does, but she's like his niece. And the reason this all ties in with Fantastic Four is because that's going to be Human Torch's lady friend / girlfriend for like a day.
A day?
Well, they don't get to stay together very long because she's on the moon and he's got to be in New York fighting crime.
This makes me wonder if Captain America will reprise his role as the Human Torch.
That is a very interesting question because that's going to eventually have to come to light. Is what's Chris Evans going to do?
Maybe Marvel Universe has stopped before then. They're just like, okay, we know where we screwed up. We're done.
Well, maybe when his Captain America his little Captain America movies run out, because he's only got what he said 7, was it?
I keep thinking 9. I thought it was 9.
And that's including all the Avengers and Captain America. So.
And then he said he'd like take a break from doing that and I guess focus on directing. So it's beyond me if he would even. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to do that. They'd have to just recast Human Torch altogether.
Right. Well, I think they're making a rebooted Fantastic Four movie. So.
Yeah, Chris Evans is Chris Evans, right?
Yeah.
He is too entrenched in the Captain America brand now to be anyone else.
He was a good Human Torch. It's just sorry that those 2 movies weren't the greatest movies in the world.
I wasn't a big fan.
No. Jessica Biel did not convince me as Invisible Woman.
No, it was Jessica Alba.
Whatever, Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
That girl. That Jessica.
Yeah. Unlike Jessica Sito, who is not the Invisible Woman.
Sometimes.
That's true. She is Asian.
I was going to say that people ignore her sometimes.
I was going to say that she's a damn ninja.
She does sneak up on you a lot.
She does. Here I am minding my own business. Hey, Cody, what the hell?
Well, that's all the movies they're going to release up until 2020.
We're going to leave that on a racist note for Cody. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Well, I have nothing else to go with.
Nothing else to contribute to this episode.
Yep, unless y'all just want me to start pulling up the Twitter and looking at all the movies they're going to release in the next 20 years.
And then we could talk about The Flash, but that's for another time.
Yeah, that'll be another time. They are making the Flash movie and a Cyborg movie, and the Justice League movie they announced are going to be a 2-parter too.
Oh, great.
So Justice League and Avengers 3 will both be double-parters.
What about Defenders? You told me about that at one point.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard anything about that in a while. Maybe they canned it.
All right.
Maybe it's Captain Marvel now.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway.
It's Marvel. They'll change it 2 months from now anyways.
Yeah. We'll be on the look for some new and upcoming uploads from us. We know it's been a while.
Yep.
We've had to establish our headquarters. We had to get things situated.
We had to start a company.
We have been working like crazy.
Right.
Between our real job and this. So we haven't really had any time to do much. And I've gotten back into school.
Right.
So, but keep on the lookout. We're posting little things here and there.
Yep. I got a Metal Gear Solid questionnaire, just kind of like questions that should be answered in the next Metal Gear installment coming up. I have a voice. I just have to edit it so I can put it on YouTube for y'all.
And depending on when this airs, you may or may not have already seen Jason's desktop he shot yesterday.
Oh, yeah. And Jason shot a new desktop, so that's at least 3 uploads. So we're back. Sorry we've been gone for a while.
It's been a little cray-cray.
Yes.
But
all right. We will see y'all next time. And if you have any comic things you want to talk about, put it in the comments, and we'll probably talk about it next time.
I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
And we are the Pixel
Guys.
Guys.
Woo!